I'm a bad mood, gotta keep it tight. Hold my baby Squid, keep him out of sight. Talking about my life, government, stay away. If you drive, I'ma do it my own way. Squid in the ocean, swimming all alone. Ain't nobody telling me where to go. Living free, gotta stay true to myself. No need for interference from anyone else. Squid pro quo, that's the way to be. Living on my terms, setting myself free. I'm up to my baby, protecting with my no government intrusion. I control my life.
Hey everybody, I'm sorry I have a weird setup today. It's Wine Mom Friday. Cheers, I'm at the bottom of my glass. I had wine with dinner, so I just continued to pour. It's the $6 bottle, y'all, so it's the cheap stuff. But it's only 5 o'clock. It's literally 5 o'clock somewhere. How is everybody doing today? Let me get my mic where I can see it. I'm sorry, I was just literally looking at my my big old book here. So I holy crap. So I'm here. Oi, 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 oi. Gotta get my footrest out because Lord knows, man, I found myself doing 20-inch box jumps and rope climbs today. Like, what the hell? Not very good rope climbs, but rope climbs nonetheless. David, I don't know if you are still here, but I answered your question. I know you're not a lawyer, but is giving misleading or partial information on a bankruptcy form not perjury? Here's where we will get started right away. I'm not going to waste any time tonight because we could, Unhung Hero, and thanks for the 20 Squid Proco memberships, turning the chat green one stream at a time. And hi to everybody. I am so sorry if I'm not saying hi to everybody individually. We got a lot to go over, and this question was asked before the stream started, so I wanted to get to it right away because I have the document open, and I don't want to confuse myself tonight because we have documents that are common to both cases, and because I'm trying to save money on PACER funds, we did not download them on both cases. So I want to make sure that we're giving you the most accurate information, but I don't have certain documents downloaded because certain documents they're in common. Like one, and I have to find my notebook, and I'm pretty sure my child ran off with my notebook, which is always a fun time when you don't know where things are because you have a toddler and they grab stuff. You parents can understand. Like yesterday, Mr. Squid goes into the bedroom and he's like, "Where's the remote for the fan?" Because we have a nice Shark fan in there, a bladeless fan. And he goes, "Where's the remote?" And I'm like, talk to her. Talk to your daughter. And we're looking all over the bedroom. I go under the bed and I run my hand under the bed, like, because we have a storage, like clothes storage under there for like winter clothes, because God forbid I don't need a sweatshirt in 90-degree heat. And I'm like this, and I'm like, all of a sudden I come up with it and I'm like, "Here's your remote." Like when things go missing, I'm like, don't talk to me, talk to her. Like, "Hey dad, how are you?" Everybody in the chat who is new to my channel, Papa Squid is literally my dad. So my haters, the funny thing is my haters have to go through him before they get to me, which is the funniest thing in the world because my dad, you think I have an attitude? Where do you think I get it from? My parents are my mods. Y'all. All right, we will get straight to it. Getting to Unhung Hero Super Chat. Make America green again. Oh yes. Good afternoon from my zero turn Squid. Oh, cutting the grass. It's gonna rain here again, so I apologize if my internet cuts out because y'all. Yay, facts. I love facts because facts take a while to change. Feelings change like this. Feelings change on a dime. My daddy taught me when I was young to trust facts over feelings. Feelings are important, but facts take a while to change. Your emotions change minute to minute, and if you make your decisions based on emotions, you're going to have one rough life. And trust me, when I was younger and I made decisions impulsively based on emotions, life was kind of rough. I just reposted something on my Facebook that was like a video that said, like, if I took a shot of tequila for every bad decision I've ever made in my life, what would you be? Dead. I'd be dead. But getting to David's question, so we're going to bring it up on chat. And I'm sorry, StreamYard updated, and they don't have the words anymore. All they have is like pictures now. And it's like, they don't have funny stuff. There we go. Share screen. They don't have like share screen anymore. They have pictures, and I don't do pictures. I do words. My brain doesn't run off pictures. We have notice of similar case. And this is where I will try to make it as big as possible for you. But right above where she signed. And I made a joke about not knowing the date the other day, but like that is the least of the issues, because electronic signature generally saves your ass when you're signing something and you write the wrong date, because the electronic signature marks the exact date and time when you signed it. So I made a joke that she doesn't know that June is the 6th month and not the 7th month. But at the end of the day, that's the least of the issues, because electronic signature generally saves your ass on that one. But right here, this statement right here, I understand making a false statement, concealing property, or obtaining money or property by fraud in connection with bankruptcy case can result in fines up to $250,000 or imprisonment for up to 20 years, or both. 18 U.S. Code Statute 152, 1341, 1519, and 3571. So I looked up those statutes. Those statutes are technically not perjury from what I can find, but I did look them up, and we are going to just quickly go over them. And coming to this stage, sponsored by my go-to for all things British law and common sense. Yeah, I cussed.
I don't know why you're bringing me on then.
Common sense. Common sense, and someone, when I start getting emotional and getting off the facts, brings me back to the facts. So.
Yeah, sometimes it's needed.
When I do get emotional,
the sound is playing up, and it's not me.
Oh, it's thunder. Welcome to Georgia in July.
Yo, Papa Squid, how's it hanging, bud?
So before we get into anything, I'm just going to go over. I have these 4 statutes brought up really quick. I'm just going to share them super quick so we can just see what they are. Because they asked a question about perjury. I know I'm not a lawyer, but I do have Cornell Law School and an ability to answer people's questions. So I'm going to do that really quick, and then we will get into these
Your sound keeps on coming in and out. Is that me?
That might be you, but I also, like, every time that you complain about that, I can hear thunder outside. So it could be me.
Let me go out and come back in.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
So 1340, or we're going to start with 152, concealment of assets. And we're not going to read the whole thing. We're just going to give you a general overview that none of these are actually perjury. So could she be charged with perjury? I don't know. However, but never mind. I'm an idiot. The first sentence of, I have examined this petition and I declare under penalty of perjury that the information is provided is true and correct. So she could be held under perjury, but she could also be false statements, concealment of assets, false oaths or claims, bribery, Then 1341 is frauds and swindles. 1519 is destruction, alteration, or falsification of records in federal investigations and bankruptcy. And 3571 is the sentencing. Felony, not more than $250,000. Misdemeanor resulting in death, not more than $250,000. So, fines for individuals. So there is that. But I'm silly because I was looking at the sentence above her. Just a little minor perjury. Where's the thing when you need it? Yeah, and the fact that swindle is actually
something's weird going on tonight with the sound. It's definitely it doesn't matter anyway. Someone brought up a very interesting thing, and you've brought up 2 points. First point is, in the UK, you're not charged, or you're not in front of the king. You go in front of the Crown Court or the Magistrates Court, and if you're really unlucky, you'll be in front of the bailiffs, Baileys, the Old Bailey. And if you end up in that one, then you're getting a book thrown at you. And also, when it comes to perjury, in regards to this bankruptcy or an attempt to try to get out of this case, by putting this bankruptcy in, from what I've heard, it'll last for quite a few years. And second of all, she has made so many mistakes in this bankruptcy filing, not just because of her names, that she's actually put names in that she hasn't used since 2013. In fact, we've already mentioned that, but she's made simple mistakes, and you just pointed one out. And the second thing is, something else I noticed is that all these anti-what-the-hells individuals who probably gave her advice and said, hey, this is what you're supposed to do, do they know? I mean, I hope when it comes to this court case that they are treated as hostile witnesses.
Yeah, you did mention that when we were talking today, and I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't even think of that. Holy goodness, like sweet baby
because of
bumps.
everything they've done and said, including all the allegations, the defamation, the slander, and everything else, they are considered hostile. So therefore, when it comes to when they're sitting on that little chair and they have to put up the right hand and swear on the Bible that they say the truth, nothing but the truth, but all the truth, they are going to be classed as hostile witnesses. So that means put your gum shield in.
Yep, and I just posted a comment. Can Ahmad drop 3 Awesome Dogs channel link? He's at 933 subscribers, and he's been at 933 for a while. And if you have not subscribed to 3 Awesome Dogs, he has literally the 3 awesome dogs. And I got to see.
Oh, she's going to fail consequences, Diana. That I can assure you of.
Huh?
There are different ways you could. I mean, look, it said perjury. Yeah, you can get fined up to 250,000 or 20 years in jail. I mean, let's put it this way: she's 63, 20 years. That'll make her. Yeah, no.
Yeah, and I'm going to bring up both dockets really quick because I just want to make sure that I have both of them in front of me, because because I didn't download all the documents because multiple of them overlap, and I didn't want to double pay because shit adds up. Shit adds up. My Pacer bill is $145 for the second quarter of 2025. So
one more thing. Sorry to cut
you're
you
fine.
off.
I interrupt you constantly. So I promise to all of you in chat who think Spawn Trooper is interrupting me, I promise he's not.
Yeah, constantly is an understatement. But we'll anyway. Just something I forgot to mention. Do you know that Lynette Preston has thrown herself and other people under the bus with the posts she has made over the last 48 hours?
I don't know, but I know she throws John under the bus constantly, to the point where I almost slightly feel bad for him, because as crappy of a human being as he might be individually, she makes him out to be
Let's put it this way. Point one. You ready for this? Point one. She has acquired herself, from what I have heard, 3 puppies or 1 puppy, regardless. And apparently, this is just speculation. Apparently, she paid over $2,000 for this puppy. Now, this puppy is going to turn into a tank. These animals, this type of dog is not a dog that hangs around on your lap, sits on your lap all day while you're watching TV or some shit. This dog is specifically is a predatorial animal. It protects livestock, and if 2 of them or 1 of them can go toe to toe with a fully grown male alpha wolf and probably win that fight, can you imagine what 3 of them can do? Right. And something else. The second point is, right, there's a lot of people saying rumors that, oh, if these animals get out of control, they'll unalive them with a pew pew. That's another thing that, like, if they do that, and there's been proof of them doing this, right, that's animal cruelty. Point 3, she has bragged about her flea market stall, and she's basically said, I am getting Jill this, and it's my stall, this, my that. Why has none of this been put into the bankruptcy form? You're muted.
Sorry, the little came in here and was talking about the rain, so I muted it so that you could. I pulled a U, because you're the one who does your whole 2-minute intro song countdown, does your disclaimer, and then all of a sudden, like, forgets to unmute yourself. So I pulled a U. Before we get started on that.
No.
But before we get started on that, I do have to play my disclaimer, because I just have to. So here you go, guys.
The creator does not give medical, legal, or financial advice. You may hear opinions on this channel from the creator and guests that you may not agree with, and that is okay. Everyone is welcome to their own thoughts, views, and opinions, and this is a place for open debate and agreeing to disagree. Thank you. Do not contact anyone discussed in this stream. If you do, you will be blocked from this channel, and then continuously shamed by the creator and the chat for being stupid.
There's my disclaimer. So never contact anybody in relation to this case. I will permanently remove you. And I don't like to remove people. There are only 3 people who are permanently banned from this channel. 2 of them are lawyers. And 2 of them are defendants in federal too. So I'll give you, I'll give you a hint who they are.
No, move on.
So, well, I mean, Bruce is, and then the other one is MLS. So,
I mean, like, when I came in, I saw you had the document up for the bankruptcy file, and I know that I'm like a freaking echo, and I repeat myself. But I tell you one thing: here's a little memo to the anti-what the hells, especially you freaking numbnut, paint chips, freaking magoo, you absolute clown. I'll tell you one thing: when you were born, right, they must have slapped the crap out of your parents. But anyway, that's beside the fucking point. Now, if you want to go around and you want to make statements and shit like that, and you give people the wrong information, how about you do this? Why don't you get yourself a fucking job in Burger King and actually do something constructive? Because you owe a lot of money, don't you?
Could you imagine? Okay, I don't want to shame anybody, but the amount of effort that certain people who aren't even involved in this case at all, like not YouTubers, not not a party to this case, are random people who are coming into this case with opinions and putting their 2 cents in and putting themselves in the middle of stuff. Like some of the people who shall remain nameless that you have already mentioned. Could you imagine if they put that effort into like something constructive? Like how awesome things would be.
And the thing is, look, there's nothing wrong with having an opinion or an insight or an opinion about what's going on. But to then inject yourself and make yourself like a subject expert, which you're basically not. When we discuss it, I mean, it's like the same thing when we discuss like the budgets and the ATCs and the accidents that have been, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, we pre-discuss it and then we talk about, listen, guys, I say as it is, and that's what people hate about me, because I have no filter. I will tell you, it's black and white for me. This whole freaking bankruptcy thing is basically a tactic. And it's not to just slow the case down. It's basically trying to get out of the financial burden that's going to happen to them when they have to pay compensation.
And Sandra, I've been following this since it started, found a channel looking for a serious look at it. I have opinions just like everybody else does. However, I try to look at it from like if I was a judge or a juror, and I try not to get involved in the one, I don't have the mental bandwidth. I had brain surgery 5 years ago. I have a toddler. I am busy. I'm covering a lot of different cases. I can't keep up with all the outside. This person said this person said this person said this. I can't do it. So I read the court docs and I make my opinions based on what I see in the court documents and other stuff, because of course I have opinions, but like as everybody does. However, I try to keep my opinions based on what the judge sees and not what has been going on behind the scenes. Because at the end of the day, as far as the court case goes, the only thing that matters is what the judge sees and what the judge says. Everything else, it might matter in the court of public opinion, but honestly, the court of public opinion, when it comes to how much money Jeremy is asking for, doesn't mean shit. Court of public opinion matters a little bit for his reputation, but so does a positive judgment in his favor. So there's that. All right. Before we get into the documents, I wrote them down so that I didn't confuse myself. In Federal 1, document 170 is the same as document 92 in Federal 2. 169 is the same as 91, and 168 is the same as 89. Therefore, we will not be doubling up on those court cases. Well, we will not be doubling up on those documents. That's why I'm not reading them. If you know that they're posted, if you know that there's like a new document or we're up to this document and I didn't read it, that's why. Because they are literally the same thing. And even though I pay for Pacer and I joke and I ask for Pacer. Pacer is 10 cents a page. So I try to be balling on a budget here. We try to be frugal with our money. We don't try to pay for documents twice. Because I am cheap. That's why I broke it out. I broke out the wine today, but it's the $6 bottle. So, I have a fish stick budget for like smoked salmon taste. How about that? Hey, Rickles. All right, let's get into this. I have documents open. I just have to like check to see which ones I have open first. Just to make sure we are not, we're staying in order. All right. So 169 is the first one we're going to read. And that's obviously in Federal 1. Yeah, Mom, there's no sense in paying for the same thing twice. And I appreciate that. But you know me, I always look at the docket just to make sure that the information that you're giving me is the latest and greatest, and I can compare because I always check. Alrighty. And since I upgraded or I restarted my computer, StreamYard changed all their stuff. So it doesn't say settings anymore or share. It gives me pictures. I don't like pictures.
Yeah, because yesterday I didn't have these issues. Now, I mean, I've just checked my system and everything's fine. You just
I like words. Window 169. This is an order from the judge.
No, there you go.
And we will see if that. Whoop. Nope. Hold on. There we go. All right.
Oh, we got a Lancunian in the house.
A who?
A Lancunian.
Oh, Lancashire or
Lancashire.
Lancashire, Worcestershire, Lancashire.
Yeah, you guys need to stop saying Shire. We're not watching a scene from the Hobbits, are we?
I've never actually seen Lord of the Rings.
It's like when you Americans go Birmingham.
I don't say that. I say Birmingham.
Yes.
Well, I also say Louisville. The people that say Louisville annoy the crap out of me. So,
what's this one? When was this? Sorry.
This is document 169. This was filed yesterday. This is an order from the judge. This is the same as document 89 in the federal 2 case. So, or wait, this is 169. This is the same as 91 in the federal 2 case. See, this is why I wrote things down so that I wouldn't confuse myself. Because there's overlap. So when there's overlap and I don't download everything brand new, I want to make sure I don't confuse me or you. This is document 169. This is order from the judge. On July 8th, plaintiff filed notice of similar case, advising the court of a pending bankruptcy petition filed by defendant Preston on July 3rd, 2025, footnote 1, document 168. Given the pending bankruptcy petition, it appears that this case should be stayed as to defendant Preston under the automatic bankruptcy stay provision of 11 U.S. Code 362A. So there is an automatic provision, even though this case has technically nothing to do with a money thing. So that one's working on her side. Even though it's a blatant attempt to delay it, there is a provision in a U.S. code. So at a certain point, she succeeded to a point so far. Additionally, given the interrelatedness of the claims against only the defendants in this case, Preston and Cook, and the stage of this case, the court believes it may be appropriate to exercise its inherent authority to also stay the case as defendant Cook pending resolution of the bankruptcy proceeding. Footnote 2. Footnote 1 is see document 1 in Re Preston 2025. The other one, bankruptcy, Northern District of Florida, July 3rd, 2025. And footnote 2, see Bardville v. Chisholm, a company, LLC, Northern District of Florida, March 25, 2010. Accordingly, it is ordered that plaintiff shall have until July 14th of 2025 to respond to the court's suggestion that a bankruptcy stay would be appropriate in this case as to defendant Preston under 11 U.S. Code 362A, and that a stay under the court's inherent authority would be appropriate as to defendant Cook. Defendant's deadline to respond to plaintiff's motions for summary judgment are told until further notice of the court. And here we go. Also, on the basis of the suggestion of the bankruptcy, the court entered an order noting that because the bankruptcy petition, the case was automatically stayed as to the case CPCE. I'm not sure what that stands for. I'd have to look it up. Additionally, the court advised that for prudential reasons, it would stay the case as to Chisholm as well. However, the court invited the parties to object to staying the entire case if they wished. Adopted Northern District of Florida, April 26, 2010. I'll see also Cajun Global LLC versus Volunteer Chicken LLC. Northern District of Georgia, April 2019. Rather, the more prudent and efficient course is that this action be stayed until such time as the automatic stay pursuant to 11 U.S. Code Statute 362A is lifted in the bankruptcy action, at which time this case may proceed as to all defendants. The court, in exercising its inherent powers to control its own docket, directs that this matter be stayed until such time as the automatic stay in the parallel bankruptcy proceedings lifted. Gulfmark Offshore Incorporated v. Bender Shipbuilding and Repair, Southern District of Alabama, August 3rd, 2009. A district court's inherent power to stay proceedings is not mitigated or obviated by 362A. Done and ordered 10th day of July, 2025. So he ordered that they have to say why they want it stayed. So
I can see a tidal wave of no, this is not happening from the plaintiff, from Randy Socket. I can see a Tomahawk missile at low altitude at freaking warp 10 coming in and just going pow right on the kisser. He basically gave them the opportunity to say, no, this case has been going on too long, bankruptcy or not, we're carrying on. And that's their right.
Okay. CPECE, Certificate of Probable Cause. Thank you. I mean, it one of those things that it's like you look at it and you go, Judge, I get it. But see, the thing is if he didn't write that and he didn't mention that US Code 11 US Code 362 literally says that it's supposed to be stayed, and then it starts a shitstorm from the other side. So like, yeah, I really hate that this. I really hate this from all fucking sides. Like, this is just a shitty move. They've done this
deliberately.
Shitty moves.
They've done this deliberately, but the thing is, what they didn't think about. Excuse me a second. What they didn't think of was the fact that the judge has basically opened up the door instead of letting them kick it down. They've opened the door and go, and what's your opinion about this? And and here's the thing.
It's right here.
This now. Open up.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. I just want to address this comment.
No, go interrupt as much as you like.
Is making this Rickles is making this smart aleck comment because he's the one that bought this. This was my Mother's Day present. So, like, when he jokes that you have a dictionary that would help, it's because he's the one.
I mean,
so yeah, I just, he was on the spot.
If I was on oh god, my brain's just gone. Technically, this means that now Jeremy can add more claims on top of everything else that he's already suing them for mental anguish, and ongoing court costs.
And this is one of the reasons that I wanted to bring you on when I talked about these documents specifically, because you went deep on the bankruptcy stuff. I did not. I read through the document, but that was it. I did not do a deep dive into the bankruptcy court. Bankruptcy kind of hits a little too close to home with certain things, and I want to talk to a couple people about some things before I deep dive into it.
I mean, the deep dive I did was based on the fact that the first page on what she filled out, right, she didn't put the true names on there. The name Caridos and the name Cook. When was the last time you found or saw any documentation or anything else where she named herself Lynette, Michelle, Alexi, bracket, put many names here, Cook? I mean, that's one. And Caridos, she hasn't used that name since 2013. And if my maths are correct, 8 years takes you down to 2017. And if the names that have been used at 4 different addresses are 4 complete different names with 4 married names that she has had in her 8 marriages or 7 marriages. Griffey, Wilson, I can't remember the other 2, but no, I can't remember. But the fact that Caridos was the last time she actually used that was 2013. So she hasn't put the true information on that document.
Yeah, and
That's
that's
just the first
that's
page.
where the question that was brought up before the stream started about penalties. I know he brought up perjury, and I completely like a dum-dum skipped over the perjury part and went straight to the false information.
I mean, look, she signed it, Michelle Preston. That is not her legally. That's not her legal name. Her legal name is Lynette Michelle. Whatever.
That's true too. And this is what what they didn't consider is that JH is one of her creditors. He now has access to all financial information, including the donations. But does he, considering they didn't turn over discovery? And there's like I have some questions that I can't answer because I'm not an attorney. But like I have questions, which is interesting because when I first started my channel, the person I would go to for my legal questions would be MLS. Interestingly enough. Sadly enough. Figure that one out. When y'all can figure out the logic in that one, let me know.
I mean, just for record's sake, and I rest my case, Your Honor. You have a look at this legal document you're looking at right now. It says Lynette Michelle Lacey Alexis Preston. It doesn't say Michelle Preston. So why are they using a name? Yeah, I like to be called by that. Well, I like to be called by my middle name. I like to be called by my nickname. I like to be called different names depending if I'm pulling your hair or not. But that's beside the point.
You know my real name and I know yours, and I still call you Spawn.
Yeah, like, I mean, yeah,
but
the thing is,
that you would sign would sign a document, Spawn Trooper.
Yeah.
Patrick, thank you for the $5 super chat. Where and how did she get the dog? Answer: the rock she bought in Dead Dog Road and Necromancy. Now we know why she bought the $45 rock. Witchcraft. So many things to say about that, but I don't know where did she get the dog?
And here's another thing. This is starting to really bug me. Is the fact that there's 501c3. If it's current and if it is in date right now, okay. Where are the turtles?
I don't know. And Unknown Hero, thanks for the $2 super chat that I skipped over. Apparently, or that here's some funds for the Jingers DUI case number 2. Here's hoping Jingers doesn't sue me for something that I don't even know what I did. Oh, Unknown Hero. Side note: speaking of Jingers and when he was suing people, remember how he threatened to sue Lauren Nighty? Well, she got subpoenaed by her information got subpoenaed by Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively in that whole shit show. So, he was and that's something I haven't been keeping up on because that's something I haven't been. But if I had her as a client, I would probably get arrested for a DUI as well. Just saying. Hey, King Paco, how are you? Haven't seen you in a while. Hope everyone is having a great day. I'm having a blast. I'm playing Nintendo Switch number 2. Did you go to GameStop where they stapled the receipt to the box and damaged the screen? Yeah, why did that? There's another question that I didn't even think about. And this is why I love the chat. And this is why I know that some of y'all get angry that I get sidetracked with the chat. But this is why I love the chat, because y'all think of shit that I didn't even consider. Why did she buy a dog when she was planning on bankruptcy?
Oh, I forgot to tell you something.
Like, I never even thought of that. Diana, in Florida, you don't have to claim a minor child's items if they were gifted to you, so you know she's hiding everything in HG's name. There's another interesting, and this is one of those things that honestly, this is all speculation with some of these comments, and I am not going to like say these are facts, but these are some interesting comments. That assumes she bought the dog. There's that too. And there's another thing, defined gift. I got my Nintendo Switch on GameStop, but I know my Switch was staple, but I spent $12.50. They were stapling to in New York City or Long Island, somewhere in New York. They were stapling them to the box and actually damaging the screens.
I just sent you a message privately.
I saw that. Interesting. We'll have to get to that. Why can't the laws be the same in every state, for fuck's sake? Because that would make us cookie cutter. I don't know. That would make... I get why laws aren't the same in every state, but some things, the only things that are that should be federal are what's in the Constitution. If it's technically not in the Constitution, it's technically at the state
Don't you
level.
have over there, you've got your federal law, then your state law, and then your county law, or your bylaws, so to speak.
But technically speaking, this doesn't happen because our government's too big. However, if it's not in the Constitution, it is technically not supposed to be handled by the federal government, which is where government overreach is kind of getting a little creepy at this point. But, you know, and Jen Sissons thinks for the £5 bankruptcy will be thrown out if not filled out properly by the 17th. And today is the 11th, so that's next Friday, next Thursday. So
yeah, I don't think Randy Suckett's going to be waiting that long. I think that his response is going to come in way quicker.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. If
So basically, she's making false advertising.
I should be able to sign docs with Elon Musk.
That's an interesting. I just respond. Excuse me a second. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Mum to an angel. Basically, if there's no
I'll get back to the other comment.
Come on, brain, kick in. There you go. Right. If the 501c3 of the her charity or her organization is no longer in date, then and she's saying that she's collecting or she's doing everything at the flea market on and for the behalf of Turtle Sanctuary and everything else, then that is classified as false advertising.
And here's a good comment. This will allow Fed 2 time to catch up with Fed 1 and the 2 cases be conjoined. This will benefit JH, improving the collaboration between all parties. That's a really good point.
I didn't think of that one.
I didn't either. This is why, like I said, this is why I love the chat. Because even though it moves fast and sometimes it sidetracks me from the actual document that I'm talking about, y'all think of things that I did not think about. One, because people are like, did you watch this person's video or did you watch this person? I barely have time to keep up with the people that I want to watch, like Charlotte Dobre and Locked On Bulldogs and other channels that I enjoy their content for sports and just mindless stuff of Reddit stories and all of that, let alone things that
I mean, the bankruptcy, just here's one question that I do have. Sorry. The fact that there's now evidence, dates, amounts that are being publicized by the donor, just one of them. Don't forget, we're not just talking about one individual donor. We're talking about multiple people who've donated. However, one person has donated on and around, and he has stated it's US dollars, not pound. He has donated around $54,000 to $56,000. Now, the fact that the Crampon has stated that the money was for her, I'm starting to see a connection between Lynette Preston doing this bankruptcy thing, and her saying that the money wasn't for the money was for her to use as she wishes. So what was all the grifting about then? I mean, but here's $10 here, here's a couple of bucks here, here's a couple of bucks here, but there's not been any transparency from the Hale's ecosystem.
I'm just asking. I know there's a bunch of people in the chat who have said they've filed for bankruptcy before. I just asked my source how long their bankruptcy took, and when they get back to me, I will answer, because Josie had a good question. How long would the bankruptcy take? I think I saw Flea said commented it could take years. I'm asking my my source when they get back to me, and they're only speaking on their personal information, their personal experience. I believe their personal experience was federal, but I could be wrong. I will give you guys an answer, so at least we have an idea. We might not be perfect with it, but at least we'll have some sort of reference. Yeah, the puppy is not a service dog. It hasn't even been trained yet, and it takes a lot of time and a lot of money. It takes money to train a service dog. Money. So it's one of those situations. But we will get to this document real quick, and then we'll get to the one that is what I think is the most important. It's in Federal 2. It is Randy's response to Felisa's motion to dismiss.
Oh God.
So yeah, it's chapter 11. So it takes a lot of money to, especially when you're training a service dog for what she is trained for, or what she needs it for. It takes a lot of specific, and you not only need training from the dog itself, like away from the family, just basic commands. Then you need training with the individual that the service dog will be used for. There's a lot of, yeah. Thank you, Braveheart. It's around $25,000 to train a service dog. I wasn't quite sure. It's chapter 7. Thank you. I wasn't.
And
quite
also,
sure.
just I have covered this a while back about the difference between a service dog and a therapy animal or an emotional support animal. They are completely two different subjects. A service animal, right, is trained a minimum of 6 months, and it can last. It can take quite a while for the service dog to be trained up, whereas an emotional animal or a therapy animal, okay, they don't need that training. And unfortunately, there's no official sort of like certification, but if a dog has been trained to be a service dog, then obviously the school or the body that trains that dog up will then certify that animal. The animal will get certification and everything else.
Well, Roy, so what can she possibly need a service dog for to count protein grams? So depending on what complications have happened, if for those of you who are new to my channel, about 6 months ago, I did a breakdown of the little girl's, not her exact issues, but just that GA1 and things that can happen. So before we judge exactly what she may need or may not need, you can have two people with the exact same age, the exact same condition, and have two completely different, even when you're trying to give them the same medicine or the same supplement, one will be controlled and one won't be. So being a medical professional, even though I might not like Lynette as a person, I don't judge that in the sense of I don't have access to that little girl's medical records, so I do not judge. However, there are service animals that can, say for a diabetic, smell or detect when they're going to have an episode of low blood sugar or ketoacidosis, or there are things that service animals can do that humans cannot even fathom detecting. So it's a situation and a discussion that I don't really want to get into because that's what I feel is outside the boundaries of I'm not going to speculate on. I don't like to talk about children on this channel, as y'all know. I am not going to speculate on the little girl's condition in the sense of two people can have the exact same diagnosis and be completely different. So it's there's that.
Can I just
There's that too.
just to add, I have put the link to the adata.org where you can actually read the differences between service dog. And I would recommend, if you want to know more about the differences between a service dog and an emotional or therapy dog, or animal, sorry, my bad, is to do your research, because there are organizations out there, especially in the United States, there's multiple, and to do your research and, educate yourself.
And John, I really wouldn't say that. I really wouldn't say that. Like, one of chats, because there are people who have had this condition who have had strokes. So there are conditions like I've if you go back and watch my stream, there is a family that has two children with it. One passed away at 17 and the other was normal for a while and had a stroke. So I beg people, regardless of what you think of Lynette, do not comment on the child's medical condition unless you've seen her medical records. I seem fine, look fine, was at the gym today, stood up from the floor and almost fell on my face because I look fine, got dizzy as shit, had to sit down for a little. Before you judge people based on, oh, she's running around, like even people with seizures, my cousin had epilepsy. She would.
And can I just point out? Oh.
So I beg people not to comment on. Yes, you can have opinions on Lynette and buying a dog right before you file for bankruptcy, and whether she doesn't or doesn't need it, but like, do not comment. I will start blocking people or like timing people out for that. A medical professional, I always got pissed at families who would be like, well, she can do this. Have you seen her medical record? Have you looked at what she can, low blood pressure is not fun. I have vertigo, so I have inner ear issues related to my brain problems. But like, there is nothing with that disease that you can train service animals for. I've researched, yes, but you can have high blood pressure with that, and you can train a service animal for high blood pressure. So it's not always the disease, it's the comorbidities. I went to college for this. Like, I have a degree in occupational therapy. I've worked at a hospital for 6 years. I've worked with patients who have service animals. Like, you might not be able to train it because GA1 is a certain glutaric acid, but you can train it for complications that may arise. So if this little girl has blood sugar issues per se, you can train the dog to detect low blood sugar. If she has blood pressure issues, you can train the dog for blood pressure issues. That's why I say don't judge, because you haven't looked at this girl's medical records. I love you guys, but unless you've seen her medical records, literally you can't speak on it because you have no fucking clue. So like, stop.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway, right. In regards of the legal document,
no, but that's why I say don't judge, because we don't know. Like, I base my streams on facts, unless you can prove something or disprove something. Then then yeah, like, like, oh.
Okay, back to the document.
All right. This is her explanation for why she needs to stay. Michelle Preston gives notice that she has filed for bankruptcy in the Northern District of Florida, requiring an automatic stay. That is her explanation for why she needs to stay. That makes no absolute sense. And that's all that's there. I'm not going to show the other page. I did redact it, but it's all her stuff. So, and Trish, I beg you to stop talking about the child's condition, because I know 13-year-olds who have medical conditions who aren't potty trained. So, like, I beg of you guys, because when you start talking about the child, it literally makes you know better than the other side. Like, I beg of you to stop talking about the child. And because what you are doing is you are giving the other side ammunition to go, well, see, they talked about the child. They talked about the child. You're giving them ammunition to say things about you guys. Just saying. Like, that's why you drop the child chat. Yes. Like, yeah.
Okay, right. Here's a fair warning. Please drop the topic in regards to the child, because we're not discussing that tonight. If you continue to do so, consider this your first warning. Okay, we're not talking about the child. We're talking about the bankruptcy and the court cases. We're not talking about anything else. Thank you. Dankeschön. Merci beaucoup.
Yeah, just from a medical, like a medical background, I get very triggered by that one. I don't know. Do you know how many dogs she has now? I have no idea. I just know about the one, but this is one of the things that I don't pay attention to, because it.
Apparently she's got one, then she's got 3. And like, one thing I can say right now, if this type of dog, if she's got one, she's going to, her and they're going to have their hands full. If they got 3 of these dogs, then, that's not going to go down well.
Oh, hey, Wingnut, shut up. Bye, bro. Wingnut is my hater. Wingnut is not who Wingnut says they are. And Wingnut, I know who you are, and thanks, bro. So what you can do is you can literally go post in the hater page about how awful I am, because we're gonna pin your message to the top so everybody can see you. So there you go. Wingnut, you and your 1 subscriber. Just in case you needed to know. Barbara, thank you for the $5 super chat. Here's an Arizona joke. Why did the cactus cross the road? Because it was stuck to the chicken. That's a mom joke if I've ever heard it, but I love it. All right. So let's get back to this. This is the document that is the most important. Oh, hey, Lindy.
Bonsoir, Lindy Champate. Bonsoir,
yeah,
madame.
And my French is
awful.
All right. So this is filed on the 9th. Years. Depends on the situation, how long, but years and a lot of money that they apparently don't have. All right. Plaintiff's response in opposition to defendant Lee's motion to leave to file an amended motion to dismiss. But Wingnut, thank you for the view and the ad revenue. Bless your heart. Plaintiffs Jeremy Bryan Hales and Elephant Shoe LLC respectfully submit this response in opposition to defendant Lisa Lee motion to leave to file an amended motion to dismiss. Word vomit. Hey, Blue Amaryllis. Lee filed her motion to dismiss under
Hey,
FRCP
Blue, how you doing?
12B6 on June 26 of 2025. Lee has now filed a motion for leave to file an amended motion to dismiss. In support, Lee makes the following representations to the court. On 5/10, defendant Lee was served with the original complaint that was filed on 2/23/25, citing defamation claims. Document 87 at paragraph 4. The plaintiff was never served defendant Lee with the amended complaint. Oy. Oh, the English. And as a result of never being served with the amended complaint, Lee represented the following to the court. Defendant Lee incorrectly relied on the claims in the original complaint that she was formally served on, which cited the claims of defamation, document 87 at paragraph 10. Lee had made material misrepresentations to the court, and Hales can prove it. Oh my God, I love that phrase from Randy, though. I mean, and they can prove it. I love that. As a result, Lee's
He froze
5 and never storms. Storms are guys. It's been happening all day. And I even did before this stream started, and I even like restarted my computer, and it's still shit there. I mean,
I'm just sitting here very
Lee
quietly.
never served with the amended complaint. Do you want to read this part?
Yeah, if you want. Right, Lee was served with the amended complaint, Doc 35, and never the original complaint. On May the 6th, 2025, the undersigned sent the amended complaint, Doc 35, and its attachments, Doc 35-1, 35-2, and 35-3, to judd@accountsservicegainesville.com, along with the summons for Lee, labeled as Summons Weeks PDF. She emailed attached hereto as Exhibit 1. On May the 8th, 2025, Lee was served with the amended complaint, Doc 35, and its attachments, Doc 35-1, 35-2, 35, and 35-3, along with the summons for Lee. Please scroll up.
There
Can you scroll up? Scroll up.
I did. Hi. I guess he can't hear me or see that I scroll up.
Oh,
so
right,
I will
No, I'm still on page 2 of 8. There you go.
We're at
right.
The rest of us. I was like, the rest of us are on 3. I know.
Lee,
I know. My internet sucks.
Yeah, Lee was told that this proof existed prior to filing the current motions for leave, yet still persistent in filing this motion, which should not be taken, not well taken by the court. The meet and confer email to Lee advised her of the problem with arguing that she was not served with the amended complaint. Says, you can respond that we do not agree, especially the claim that you were not served with the amended complaint. We have documentation that this process server never received anything but the amended complaint for you to be served. And then obviously you got the emails down there. Under the circumstances,
Sorry.
Okay. My grounds are right. Under the circumstances, it was naturally assumed that that ended the meet and confer discussion as the potential reasons to seek a second bite of the apple when the grounds themselves were false and untrue. Attached hereto is Exhibit 3 are the grounds referring to the email string.
There we go.
Lee relied on the amended complaint, Doc 35, in her motions to dismiss, Doc 79. In her motion to dismiss, Doc 79, Lee refers to several numbered paragraphs of the complaint, i.e., paragraphs 50 to 53. Doc 79 at pages 3 and 5, paragraphs 29, 30, 32, and 52. Doc 79 at page 5, paragraphs 26, 27, 30, and 49 to 55. Doc 79 at pages 8 and 10. Each of these paragraphs and arguments made based on these paragraphs proved that Lee's motions, Doc 79, who is based on the amended complaint and not the original complaint, Doc 1, as Lee represents to the court. To conclude, otherwise escapes all reality and common sense. This is because the paragraphs described and referenced match completely up to the amended complaint, Doc 35, and not the original complaint, Doc 1. Lee's motions, paragraphs 50 to... Oh, hello. Hi. Okay, so hello. I am now here, and I am on my own, and so how's everybody? Oh, God. Squid, come back. Come back. Squid, come back. All by myself. Okay. Yes. Yeah, I mean, I wonder if Squid can send me that document. Well, we'll just, yeah, if her internet's gone, yeah, there's a possibility that, like, we'll be going to see. Oh, okay. I'll just sit here. I mean, his response is definitely going to make the judge read that properly. I guess we got the Grinch. Yes, you have. I will send Spawn the doc. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Please do. Please do. Send me it now, Miss Moneypenny. Right, so I'm just waiting for the document to turn, and then oh my God, Mama, no, thank you. I'll wait for James. Thank you, but I'll wait for Heather to send it. I'll wait for it to spawn you back in the military on guard duty. I fucking wish, mate. Wait a minute, what's this? Similar defamation lawsuits averted against you for damages and lawyers' fees will be recovered by officers of the court. Such an order will stay in place for 20 years until discharge. I take the puppy elsewhere, including Walmart. She goes to understandable. You are mean, Mr. Grinch. You evil, smelly little things, or have you? Any upcoming shows, Spawn Trooper? Probably one this weekend. I've got quite a few video editing things to do, but I'm still waiting for the document. So, never, ever. Yeah, and the time TDT Spawn. Yeah, I'm ignoring you today, Jeffrey, because you don't know when to stop. But I tell you one thing, though, this whole situation, I think that this bankruptcy thing is a ploy. I think they're just using it to try, they're trying every different tactic. I mean, let's be honest, like with this 30-day, 60-day, or 90-day, when they were discussing it, when Mr. Magoo was discussing it on, excuse me a second, when they were discussing it on, their stream, and then only a few weeks later, suddenly they put in that motion. So yeah, this is definitely from them. So Frank Otter heard blah blah blah, beans and toast good, blah blah blah, teas and crumpets, but I'm good. Good news today. Wife's white cell count was good today. That's good news. Well, that's really good news, Roy. I want to go for a video of someone riding his bike. Oh, you'll get that. Don't you worry about that. It's all the stall tactics. It's Spawn, not Swan, but not a problem, Daniel. It is yeah, of course it is a delay tactic. I don't know what's going on. I've not had notifications live show for the week now, other than sporadic ones. I didn't get the notice for the one yesterday. Oh, okay. Sorry about this. I am waiting for Squid to send me the document. Experts for the last few days, too many to name. I'm subscribed, notifications on. What is your knowledge of the acro arrow? The acro arrow, the C105. Oh, I've got the document. Acro arrow. Acro arrow. Acro arrow. Oh, that's that freaking jet. How the hell am I supposed to know that? Oh, it's Avro. Right, that's probably why I couldn't fucking remember. Anyway, we were on page 4, exhibit 3 of the grounds, reference to email. Right. Lee relied on the amended complaint, Doc 35, in her motions to dismiss. So I think we spoke this 10 and 8. Each of these paragraphs and the arguments made based on the paragraphs prove that Lee motions Doc 79, who is based on the amended complaint and not the original complaint, Doc 1, as Lee represents to the court. To conclude otherwise, steps it. Oh yeah, we've already covered that bit. Complaint. This is because paragraphs described and referenced match completely up to the amended complaint, Doc 35, and not the original complaint, Doc 1. Then it says Lee's motions regarding paragraph 50 to 53 states plaintiffs' allegations in paragraph 50 to 53 regarding Lee's alleged solicitation of donations and perpetuated personal enrichment are irrelevant and non-actionable as a matter of law. These paragraphs do not allege any facts showing that the plaintiff Hale, either individually or through any business entity, suffered a legal constitutional injury as a direct result of Lee's alleged conduct concerning donations from unrelated third parties. Oh, Jesus Christ, you scared the shit out of me. Anyway, I'll carry on.
Sorry, I'm on my phone.
Okay, Doc 79 at page 3. Such an argument could not have been made without seeing paragraphs. And by the way, that plane was in the 50s and 60s or 70s, Chucky. So don't forget, I wasn't in the RAF, I was in the infantry. Doc 79 at page 3. Such an argument could not have been made without seeing paragraphs 50 to 53 of the amended complaint, Doc 35. This is because paragraphs of 50 to 53 on the original complaint, Doc 1, refer only to defendant's Helm and do not refer to defendant Lee at all, while paragraphs 50 to 53 of the amended complaint, Doc 35, refers to Lee and matches up with her complaints in her motions to dismiss about the donations she solicits. Lee's motions regarding paragraph 26, 27, 29, 30, 32, and 49 to 55 also cannot withstand the analysis as these paragraphs match completely up to the amended complaint, Doc 35. And not the original complaint, Doc 1. When reading Lee's motion, Doc 79, paragraphs 26, 27, 29, 30, 32, and 49 to 55 in the original complaint also do not refer, excuse me a second. Well, what was I saying? Do not refer to Lee at all. Instead, they refer only to Preston, Cook, and Helm and Matskin. See Doc 1 at paragraphs 26, 27, 29, 30, 32, and 49 to 55. I showed you guys this screenshot on my stream the other day. 50 weeks solicited cash from consumers who watch Weeks programming and misleads them to believe these donations are for charitable purposes, i.e. for Preston's child to construct a home on Preston's property, etc. 51. The soliciting of donations for this purpose from consumers who watch Weeks has been quite effective. Weeks has been able to raise at least $70,000 since August 2024 under the above false pretense. These are false pretenses because Weeks has kept the great bulk of the money for herself and for her own personal use. 52. Weeks fails to account for where the money raised by these consumers has been spent. In fact, on April the 6th, 2025, Weeks said, "What I was doing, it wasn't a fundraiser. It was not donations because it was given to me to help me. It's not a donation. It may have been called a donation or something, or because that's what people actually, think if they're doing something, it's a donation." Bullshit. Anyway, my bad. 53. In actuality, Weeks' processes and strategy, Weeks' scheme, is nothing more than a scheme to enrich herself at the expense of consumers and Hales. And I can confirm, ladies and gentlemen, that on the 17th of October 2024, right, all the funds for the fence were collected in total. And our friend Lisa Lee, whatever she wants to call herself, actually made that statement herself on her stream. And I have evidence of that. Right. Page 6 of 8. Lee was aware of the amended complaint to Doc 35 because she filed opposition for plaintiff's motion to file a second amended complaint substituting a John Doe party, Doc 71. I just filed a motion for leave to amend complaint to substitute party which attached the proposed second amendment complaint, Doc 63, and its attachment. This was opposed by Lee, Doc 71. This shows that Lee was aware of both amended complaint and the second amended complaint when she filed Doc 71 on June 17th, 2025. 4. Lee was aware of the amended complaint Doc 35 because she did a broadcast about the amended complaint on her YouTube channel. On April the 28th, 2025, we broadcast on her channel a live stream video titled "Amended Complaint is in, New Defendants Added, LOL." This broadcast is available at, then there's a link, during which Lee states in the alea. So anyhow, the amended complaint came in today and there's still 10. There's still 10 and they removed Patty Plummer and then added Richard Luthman. The comment can be heard at the 01:25 minute mark. And the further proof that Lee knew about the amended complaint prior to filing her motions to dismiss. Ooh, dear. 4, 5.
Oh, there's the death of that statement, right? There's the oh.
Yep. FRCP. Sorry. Yes, it's like FRCP 15 relied on by Lee does not authorize a motion for leave to amend a motion. Page 7 of 8. The Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, that's FRCP, that's what it stands for, do not authorize a motion for leave to amend a motion. This is because the rules only address amendments to pleadings rather than motions. FRCP 15 relied on by Lee governs amendments to pleadings and provides that a party may amend its pleading once as a matter of course within certain timeframes of which the courts leave, which should be freely given when justice so requires. However, this rule does not extend to motions, as motions are not considered pleadings under FRCP 7A. Pleading, there's a little 3 next to it. Pleadings include complaints, answers, and other specific documents, while motions are procedural requests. FRCP 12 G2 also restricts excessive motions to prevent piecemeal litigation such as Rule 12H2 and Rule 15A1, provide mechanisms to address certain defenses or objections later in the case in situations which does not apply here under the circumstances. Conclusion. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, yeah. Lee's motion should certainly not be well taken by this court because it is totally lacking in truth and merit. For the foregoing reasons, plaintiffs respectfully request that the court deny Lee's motion in its entirety. Respectfully submitted by, and the footnote says, FRCP 7B1 also does not address the amended of motions and certificate of compliance, and everyone's got it. And page 1 of 1, there is a response from the evidence. I think this is exhibit. I think this is one of the exhibits. It says, hi, Jad, the attached stuff from the federal lawsuits, two other defendants of Florida residents on one. Yeah, I think this has already been seen. And then state of Florida, case number, plaintiff to basis this for received.
Yeah, I was muted, James. The little was in here screaming.
By accurate serve
She was yelling.
on the 8th. Say again?
Oh, James just asked me if I was muted. I said yes. The little was in here yelling, and I thought it would be rude since I wasn't talking to interrupt.
Well, you're on your phone. So anyway, so let me just, right. So return of service. I received by accurate service on the 8th day of May 2025 at 11:21 hours a.m. to be served on Lisa Weeks, aka Lisa Lee, aka Lisa Rat, at address. I, Jody, hereby affirm that on the 10th day of May 2025 at 15:09 p.m. I, substitute, served and delivered a true copy of the summons, amended complaint for damages and injunctive relief exhibits with the date and hour of service endorsed thereon by me to Gabe Weeks as co-resident at the address of within named personal use place of abode, who resides therein, who is 15 years of age and or older. Well, age, yes, but mentality, no. And inform said person of the contents therein and in compliance with the statute described. The person said age 48, sex male, race, skin color, white, height, 5, weight, head, I certified that I am over the age of 18 and no internet the above action and have been properly certified as a process server by the admin. Yeah, so there you go. Oh, you've lost power again.
Well, that was interesting.
Yeah, just like
Terry.
if that happens again, just a word of advice. Right, always make sure when you lose power, always make sure you just turn most of your plugs off, like your sockets off to your TVs and computers and stuff like that, because power surges. Or turn the power off at the computer so you don't get.
Terry, he's a good guy. There was some stuff where people made him out to be a bad person, and he's not. He's my friend, and he's a good guy. So there we go. Now I can see myself again.
Wait, Terry, don't be mad at me. Don't be angry at me. I'm just a human being. On page, I can't even read the page, so I'm just going to go by that scribble on the top there. I think this says it's 2 of 3. You've got the summons and civil action, so you've got the certification. You've got the summons, civil action, and that is to the walrus. Anyway, and then you've got an email that's directed to Randy and other people, signed proof and endorsement service copy PDF. Underneath that is page 1 of 4, which is motions for leave to file amended motions to dismiss. That I think that there is from John Cook. And funny enough, I'm
gonna see if I can restart my internet and see if it comes back.
Yeah, I mean, if it gets too bad, what we could do. What we could do is stop here and then transfer it over to mine, and I'll go live and I'll just give you the throne. But then that wouldn't be fair, because then I've got 245 people watching my stream and it wouldn't be fair on you. So let's just try our best to.
You should start a stream of your own. Everybody go to Spawn's channel.
No. Let's just wait, because like I was wondering why the sound was going in and out. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you go anywhere near Squid's house with a magnet or a taser, I can tell you right now that her power would just go poop. Can you imagine? I'm sorry. Have you got a flashlight?
I got a plane. I got my phone.
And Terry, Terry, just for the record, I don't hold grudges. There's only the list for me to hold grudges against people is very, very small, so I can only write 4 or 5 names on that list. So don't you worry. Sometimes people don't like me, so don't worry about it. Some days I don't. What is wrong with you? You need to get Elon Musk moving your house. You get a perfect signal then.
Well, this is what happens when you have rural internet. You live in the sticks, and you have storms every day of the year. Tomorrow should be better. The last 3 days we've had storms every day. Every day.
I'm surprised that your internet is affected that bad by the weather.
Like, I showed you the picture of the tree on the other side of the, I was leaving my neighborhood one time after we lost power for 6 or 7 hours overnight, and all of a sudden I was leaving, and I literally took a picture. I sent it to Spawner, this is when we lost power, and there was crews working on a tree that was probably 200 feet tall. The stump was probably, the trunk was probably a foot diameter, maybe more. And it just,
I mean, if you have storms like that, you should set up get yourself I don't know, an emergency generator or something. Get yourself solar panels with so if you lose power, you can just flip the fuses and then bang, you can swap over to solar power.
We just usually
Because
just let the views do.
Yeah, and also don't forget, if you lose
You lost
power,
power
it turns
for-
your router off. Your router takes about 20 seconds.
It's it is what it is. I don't know what brand our generator is. However, we just got a full house switch installed a couple days ago. So
Yeah,
uh,
do you want my advice, Squid? I would advise that you call it a night, and because the weather's not doing you any favors, I would just suggest that, you got, if people want to do research on service dogs or emotional therapy animals, then, and if you want to obviously, support Squid, then please do. Hit that like button for crying out loud.
there's a lot of interference even from my phone. So it's bad. If you look at the radar around this Savannah, Georgia area, it's bad. Bad. So, but on that note, I think we should we made it through the documents. We'll kind of do a recap another time. Today is not the night. The weather kind of shut that one down.
Yeah, I mean, it's you are breaking up quite a bit, so yeah, you are breaking up quite a bit. So I would suggest, yeah, it was a good stream, and come on, guys, hit that like button.
Yeah, thanks for the 200 people that stuck it out.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you guys. And the stream if I would have done this on stream, I wouldn't have been able to.
1 second. 1 second.
Y'all-
1 second.
We will do this another.
Yeah. So come on, guys, hit that like button.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
know.
there was 206. Let's get it. Let's get those likes in. Right. Are you able to turn off the stream? Or do you have to log into?
Right.
Because I don't want. I mean, if you like disappear again and I have to sit here all night, I expect a case of Dr. Pepper. All right, and some lullaby from someone. You know, go to sleep, go to bed. I'm going to dwell in my self-loathing. Hate, 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 hate. Love. Hate, hate, hate. Sorry.
I will see you.
Yeah. Just let's go. Let's call it a night.